follow your instincts, they won't let you down. And then you'll see happiness will come around. You know you can make it, just hold on and fight. Life is really crazy, you gotta hold on tight. You gotta move on and carry on. You know this world isn't meant to stop. You gotta keep walking, don't stop trying. You know this world wasn't made for crying. Lights of distant homes are shining so far away. I never found a place that's worth to stay. Since that again, I'm on my own. Against this world, I think I'm thrown away from this life. I'm all alone. The way life's supposed to be, for me it's a complete mystery. I wish I would know which way I'm supposed to go. There's nothing to leave behind, but yet I can't take this feeling out of my mind. The feeling there's nowhere I can go. No one wants to meet, so I'll just go with the flow. The time of my life is beyond control. Lights of distant homes are shining so far away, so far from where we are. I never find a place that's worth to stay, so I'll just keep walking away. Since that again, I'm on my own. This is a word I never known. Against this world, I think I'm thrown away from this life. I'm all alone. What am I looking for? I'm returning to the point I was before. I wish someone would understand, that someone would grab my hand, 'cause I'm really falling down. I'm lost and never more found. Drowning in the sea of lies. There's too much pain and everything dies. Darkness is spreading too damn fast. Seems like the feeling is meant to last, but this world I'm an outcast. Lights of distant homes
Happy Friday. Welcome. Okay, let me get here. So, welcome everybody on YouTube. Welcome everyone on Twitch. So, guys, today is a very, very special day. Hello, Bathman. Welcome. Very special day. It's like a huge milestone for me. It's like I'm releasing music for the very, very first time. Because I feel it's the beginning of um a more real me. And I would love to hear your opinion. If you guys already, I'm sure you already heard the single, you already heard the song. You know what I'm talking about. You know it's the same song, but it's not. And even the style in the video also, because I wanted to do the video that reflects. But we will talk about that on this live. I want to start by singing the song, and also I'm going live on Instagram. So let me put myself live here. Okay. Go live. Oh. Okay, I think we're cool there. All right. And I'm wearing the same wardrobe that I had in the video. So again, also the wardrobe is very different from Sandra Bullet, because well, it's not supposed to be Sandra Bullet. It's supposed to be something more organic. And I'm also in a process, even in a personal level, to change kind of my wardrobe, because I want more and more comfortable clothes, and clothes that allow my body to breathe. So I'm getting a lot of, I don't know, it's like I'm more sensitive or something, so I need to have that space, and I want to allow my body to have that space. And so I feel the clothes I wear should reflect that. So, but that's just some things I'm going to talk. So Mark is saying I haven't commented it yet, but I think your video is fantastic. Mark, you can just comment saying great. It's okay. You guys don't have to write elaborate comments. I'm just glad to know that you guys heard it and you liked it. I'm already super happy with it. Okay, you don't have. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to think the comment over and leave beautiful comments to me. That sometimes almost make me cry. I do appreciate that, but there's no need, of course. Okay, you being here and you supporting my journey is already more than enough to me. Guido, hello, welcome, Clayton. So, and John, hello. I don't know if I've said hello yet, but so I want to start by singing the song, right? Or should we wait a bit more? Because I can sing it later. You know, in terms of the voice, the instrumental, it's a lot more stripped down than it was, right? I'm sure you guys could see the very first version on itself. And I'm not even going to enter on the remix, because the remix wasn't made by me. It was made by Kazumi Anzai, which is a fan, and I absolutely loved what he did, so much that I incorporated the echo effect that he did on the vocals. I incorporated on this version because I absolutely loved that. I think it was so beautiful, so creative, and I wanted to include that. And I learned something. I didn't know how to do that effect, but I learned how to do it. But you know, in relation to the very first version of the song, is a lot more stripped down, but also a lot more intricate, which is actually interesting because as Sandra Bullet, I always had a tendency of putting a lot of stuff in my songs, and I do have access to virtual instruments, so that kind of makes things easy for me. And I ended up putting a lot of instruments in the mixes, and it's a style, but I didn't want it. I wanted to do something simple, and I was thinking what instruments should I use, and then I had this I discovered this band from Argentina. I'm not going to say the name because it actually doesn't matter. But I found this band that, and I heard the albums, and they had some elements that I really liked. But what really blew me away was that I then watched a performance of them live, and it sounded exactly like the album, like exactly. And I thought, wow. I mean, I could never do this with my songs unless I use recorded tracks, and I really don't like, playback on live shows. I really don't appreciate it because it messes up with the dynamic, because you have to play following a metronome and everything, so it kind of messes up with the dynamic of the whole live. And but that took me the right direction. That took me the direction I wanted to have. Was that, okay, I love this, I want to have this, I want to have the same sound on the album that I can have live. And so I can only use live instruments, since I don't want to have a big orchestra playing with me. I wish, but that's not in the cards right now. It's not a possibility. And I don't want to have backing tracks, at least not too many backing tracks. And that was just so amazing, because that took me in a direction that, okay, I have to maximize the instruments I have, real instruments. And that's when the sound started to build. And Times to Steal was the hardest song, even though it was already released. It was already like, there were many things already great on that song. It didn't need much change. But I felt I needed to add something there. So it was interesting without all those virtual instruments that we have on the very first version, because the very first version has strings in there, a lot of strings, a lot of cinematic strings. Feeling it has, I don't know, 5 or 6 different guitars, believe it or not. Some of them are not even audible, but they are there, like just building up the sound, fattening up the sound. And so I decided to introduce the electric guitar, but in a very ethereal sense, which is actually my very favorite sound on the electric guitar. Is not those really hard distortions or anything. Is just that instrumental, that ethereal, that you put a lot of reverb, a lot of echo, and a lot of compression, and the sound just kind of, it's like the electric guitar becomes a totally different instrument, still being a guitar. And so that was the magic, and I do feel that is also a lot of the magic in the album, because all songs will have that dynamics and the same instruments, even though sometimes I will be alternating between the acoustic guitar and the piano. Okay, because some songs are on the piano, but they just don't make, I compose them on the piano, so it just doesn't make sense to play them on the guitar instead. I tried, it's not happening. So if I'm live, I can be alternating between piano and guitar, and that will only push me to practice more. So it's a good thing. Afonso, welcome. So I also want to thank everyone for the amazing love, amazing support I've had throughout this journey, and everyone who already commented on the video, who already watched the video. I wanted to remind everyone, don't forget the video is on a different channel. Okay, I'm streaming on the Sandra Bullet channel, but the video is on Sandra Lourenço, okay, on YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe that channel, okay? If you haven't already. As you can see, my throat is still not perfect. I'm having a really hard time with this. It's like, it's almost perfect, but then sometimes it cracks. So that's one of the reasons why I will also just be focusing on Times to Steal. Sometimes I'll be pausing a bit if my throat asks for it. And we'll take it easy today, because one of the differences between also Sandra Lourenço and Sandra Bullet is very active and always doing stuff, and I'm not like that in my real life. I'm more laid back. Some people get really surprised when they see me live. Even a few days ago, I had this interaction with this lady, because I'm always taking Lily to the garden. We have like a really cool garden really near here, this house. And so I take Lily to the garden, and we end up, meeting familiar faces. And there was this lady that she told me, "Oh, I didn't know you were a singer. I saw your videos online." And I was so surprised. You are so extroverted. And I had to correct her. I'm not extroverted. I'm introverted. But he was like, "Oh, really? Because you sound like so friendly and enthusiastic and active and all of that." And yeah, but that's not the same as being extroverted. And yeah, in my real life, I'm more laid back. I don't feel the need, when I enter a place, I don't feel the need to be the star. And I actually don't like people who do that. So I don't do that either. I just lay back. And then sometimes, it comes in the conversation, or I mention, and then I show what I do to people. And I always have this cool reaction because people don't see it coming. And then they see the videos and everything. Because in my real life, I'm a lot more laid back and more relaxed. And I can be I can be the life of the party once I get comfortable in a place, but I have to be really comfortable with the people, and all of that. Unless I'm performing. If I'm performing, if I'm supposed to be the star, okay, then I will take that part. But if I'm just, in a place with other people, no, I won't be the star unless someone asks me to be. But that's just the way that I am. All right, so Mark, welcome to you to Instagram. Are we being omnipresent today? You're replacing Stig. Everybody watching on Instagram, I'm live also on YouTube and Twitch. Okay, it's my job to be an extrovert, says Guido. I do feel people. I do feel people confuse extrovert with outgoing. I do feel people confuse those two words a lot. It's not the same thing. You can be, and that's exactly the sentence that I said to that lady. That I think it's the one that makes most sense. You can be an introverted and still be a good communicator. But people don't think those two things can coexist. And the older I get, the more introverted I get. But some people I've seen that happens. That happens. Not only me. Stig, welcome to Instagram. Okay, Stig, you haven't been to YouTube yet, so you're not omnipresent yet. So yeah, trying to be more laid back today, and I will start by singing this song, um, in the way that my voice can. Okay, it's taking really long to heal, and I just noticed that I don't have any water. Oh, yeah, wait, I have some water. It's weird because it's like my throat is okay, and then in the next second it's not. I'll have to start taking a bit more care of it. Stig's coming. Coming where? I know you're saying to YouTube. Where's Hambo? He would understand the reference. Okay, what am I doing with this mouse when I have my remote? Always forget that I have the remote. Okay. So here you go, times to steal. If you are on Instagram, you will be listening to it on acoustic format. Which is okay too. Times to steal since that moment. from that moment on. But I've been well, breaking all these chains I had, and I can't back down, back to what we used to have. 'Cause I can't forget about what you've done to me. And I know I can't let go. Time stood still since that moment. All my world fell down from that moment on. And I'm not well without all these chains we had. But I can't go back to what we used to have. 'Cause I can't forget about what you've done to me. And I don't think I ever will. 'Cause you broke my heart and lost my trust. When will I ever have enough? Was this all in vain? Shall we try again? Does it even matter in the end? 'Cause I'm broken, maybe not so bad on my own. I always felt alone after all. I always felt alone with you. Without you. With you. Without you. And there you go, guys. My new single, my voice hold up. Time Stood Still, 2025 version. The only song that I have that has 3 versions. Longe has 2 versions, but that's okay for versions. Okay, that's it for new versions of already released songs. It's time for new songs. And that's why Time Stood Still it will be the only song on the album that is a song that was released before. Okay, and guys, we'll have till December. The album comes out in December, and till December we will have one song, one single per month. That is my challenge and my gift to you. Okay, as well, to present one song till December. So we'll have eight releases, if I'm not mistaken. Eight or 7 singles. I'm not sure anymore. Doesn't matter. But no, 7 or 8. Help me, guys. Doesn't matter. But then in December we'll have the album out, and the album has 16 songs. So that means that in December you'll have 8 new songs in the album, and of course all the pre-released ones will also be there. Welcome, Stig. Welcome, Mrs. Ray Paul. Thank you so much for the applause, guys. Mrs. Ray Paul is saying, I had to resub to you. Somehow you drop. YouTube does that sometimes. YouTube is really mean. It drops the subs sometimes. So, yes, guys, don't forget from time to time to check if you are still subscribed. Okay. Also, please don't forget to subscribe. Mrs. Ray Paul, this is for you too. I have 2 YouTube channels now. Okay. This is the Sandra Bullet one, but I will be releasing my original music on the Sandra Lourenço one. Okay. And let me see if I can drop the link. Where can I find it there? Let me just copy the link super quick and put it in the chat. Oh, how did I do that? Sometimes I do things that I don't even know how I do it. Okay, here we go. Copy link. I'm going to put it on YouTube and also Twitch, okay, guys? Stupid YouTube, right? Okay, so this is the link to the Sandra Lourenço channel where you can watch the official video clip, okay? Same thing here on Twitch. There you go. So everybody can subscribe. If you are watching on Instagram, the link is on the. If you go to the link on the bio and you go watch the video clip for Time Stood Still, it's that channel. So you just have to subscribe in the channel where you find the video clip. Okay, that easy. Mrs. YouTube police be in contact with you. I didn't say anything. YouTube is perfect. I don't want to be busted by YouTube and go to YouTube jail. Okay, so about the instrumental, I think I already said pretty much everything, and you guys can expect the new songs. Will all be in with this ethereal, more instrumental vibe. That doesn't mean that I don't have, because I love the dynamics, and one thing that I always loved about Time Stood Still and why I decided to include it is because it has these amazing dynamics that it starts really slow, but then you have drums and you have a guitar solo and all of that. So you have those dynamics. It doesn't mean that the songs don't have strong punches in it, but they also have calmer parts, which is something that usually on the Bullet I didn't have that much, Some songs will be the ones that I shared with you on Musical Reflections of a Slightly Conscious Being, my podcast that you can still see. On my, I think now it's on the Sandra Lourenço. It will be on the Sandra Lourenço channel as well, but you guys can rewatch it. I think I still have it on Sandra Bullet. Some songs, but I do have the songs separate, so you can watch the songs only. You don't have to watch the podcasts. Some songs will be from there. Some songs will not be there. So you'll never know which songs will be in the album and which songs will not be. You just have to wait and see. If you are a sponsor, if you are a paid sponsor, probably you'll get to know that sooner. Okay. Just a wink to everybody's that on my Buy Me a Coffee page and Patreon page. Okay, of course you guys get to know things before everyone else. If you are on Bandcamp, then you guys can buy Time Stood Still. If you want to support the release, you can buy the song on Bandcamp, and on Bandcamp the song I think costs €1, but you guys can donate more if you like. And I will be adding on Bandcamp some special versions, because one thing that I'm going to do with this album is that all songs are loopable. But I have to do a version that it's loopable. So basically, when the song ends, you can go back to the start totally in a seamless way without saying it. On this version, it's not possible, but I will be releasing a version like that. And I think that will be really cool because you guys can just loop the songs. or just listen to them, on repeat. Yeah, Guido, still only 13 subscribes. Yeah, I don't know if people are thinking if it's a fake channel or not, but with time we'll get there. It's okay. Um, one subscriber at a time, we'll build it. And I always have this channel. I thought about, for a while I changed the name on this channel, but then I thought it didn't make sense with the bulletized covers. It didn't make sense. Might just keep this as the bullet one and build another one for Sandra Lawrence. It's okay. Um, so that's it about the sound. So only real instruments, so that when I go live performing the songs, it can sound pretty much the same. I'll be having a bit of a hard time doing the time, time. I'll be doing a hard time doing that, but I'll do my best. But that's the only effect in the song, pretty much, that is non-replicable on stage. But it's also replicable. But yeah, it's a bit hard to do it. So when I'm playing guitar, there's no piano. When I'm playing the piano, there's no acoustic guitar. So that way I can change on stage, and that means Times Two Still has guitar. Doesn't have keys on it, but maybe the next song will be the other way around. We'll see. So guys, now I wanted to talk about the cover, and if you are on Instagram, you can see the cover. So this is the cover of Time Stood Still. It was hand painted, and I'm really proud of it because I never thought I had it in me. Let's see if I can focus. I think you can see the details and everything. I don't know if on YouTube you can, on Instagram. So there's a lot of meanings in here. Also, I once I started my personal growth journey when I was 30, when I became a full-time musician. So when I released Longe, my very first EP, this one, I was right in the middle of a dark night of the soul. Like, I was trying to make sense, to understand what made sense to me. I was depressed for a very long time, and then when I became a musician full time, I was so scared because of the lack of financial security. Right? I don't know. We are conditioned to think that a steady paycheck at the end of the month and everything, and it's safer. So I was scared to that when I did this, but I still did it, and it's still here. But this was when I started my personal growth journey, because I wanted to go against all that, not against all that, but trying to understand where was that coming from, so I could um, get over it. I was having panic attacks and everything, and I haven't had a panic attack in years, and I'm really proud of myself, without medication, just by meditation and working on myself. So when I started my personal growth journey, I did Longe, and then I was working as a musician, but then I started my spiritual growth journey. And right in the beginning of my spiritual growth journey was when I started believing that, um, I wouldn't even say believing, I would say knowing or remembering in some way that, um, there's more to this world than we can see, you know. And when I was in the beginning, I did Somewhere in the Crowd because I wanted to celebrate my origins and all of that. But that's also when I was in the beginning of my personal growth journey. I remember the day that I did the live for you guys to introduce this album. Um, there was a butterfly. I was talking to a friend, and a butterfly came and it came right on my face, and it landed here on my face, and my friend was like, "Oh, that's so cool." And so I was really in the beginning of the process of my journey of personal growth and spiritual growth. And as I was doing that, I read a lot and I searched a lot about that, and I came to I have this third degree in Reiki, which is an energy healing. We know conventional, not conventional, but alternative therapy or alternative medicine. So we work with energy, which was really cool. And I started discovering about the chakras and what the chakras are just energetic centers on our body. So on this work, on this album, I wanted to introduce that knowledge, not only in my music, in a very healthy way, okay? In a way that music is supposed to, for me, music was always a catalyst for emotions and also a way to purge our emotions, to put our emotions out there. Little did I know that I was already doing some sort of sound therapy. There's also something called sound therapy. If you guys want to check it out, it's really amazing. It really works. I've tried. There are actually, there are already scientific studies about this. There are people who are trying to discover how to use sound to actually heal cancer, to destroy cancer cells in the body. And okay, this is something that is very already scientific as well. So I wanted to introduce a bit of what I know, because I want my music also to be able to help others, process their emotions, process feelings, and supporting them through hard times. I remember many times, during my life when I was in my darkest moments, and some songs were my best therapists or my best friends or my best everything. I remember listening to songs on replay for hours in on end. Not my songs from other artists back then. So I can understand that. I understand how music can be healing and how music can help people, and I wanted to include that in my work, because that's also a part of me. Someone who is very empathetic to what others are going through. Because I already went through really dark times, and I've had stuff in my life that wasn't particularly easy, but it made me the person I am today. And actually, that I think that allows me also to connect with others in a very deep way with what they're feeling, because I know how it is to feel bad and to feel. I may not know what you're going through, but I know what is like to be through a hard time, and sometimes music is the only thing that can reach us. So on the cover, this was a dimension that I wasn't planning. I wasn't planning this at all. It wasn't planned, but I started having this idea for the cover, and I tried to make digital art. I tried to use AI, and it could never get what I could see. And I have that in music as well. I have sometimes a hard time working with other artists because I have this idea in my mind, and sometimes it's hard. Artists are giving their idea, but I'm stuck on my idea, so I end up doing everything myself because this was my idea. And I have very particularly, I know exactly how I want it to be. So with the cover, it was the same thing. So I started painting, and I wanted to include, of course, some things are really easy to get. Of course, I mean, it has a frozen clock with the pointers. So yeah, time stood still, so we have a frozen clock. One fun fact is the time of the clock. It's 3:40, supposed to be 3:40, which is exactly the duration of the song. The song has 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So I did 3:40 in the clock. That was just a funny touch or a curious touch. But what I really wanted to tell you guys, because I started talking about chakras and everything. So the there is an association. There are 7 chakras in our bodies, and there are 7 musical notes, and there are also 7 planets. So there's like this association of things. So there are also 7 days of the week. So you can associate each chakra to a musical note. And you can also associate each chakra to a planet or even to a day of the week. Yeah, as well. But we're here to talk about music. So I did this work when I was defining the key of each song to try to understand which chakra it was connected with. So you may think, oh, Heart Stood Still must be the heart chakra. Actually, no. Time Stood Still is the solar plexus chakra, which is yellow. They are also 7 colors associated to each chakra. So I wanted to put yellow as the base. Yellow is the base, and yellow is coming out of the darkness because the solar plexus chakra, it's a chakra that comes from movement. And I love these synchronicities or coincidences or whatever, because the solar plexus is the chakra that is connected to movement and to action, to make something happen. But when time stands still and when you get frozen, there is no movement. So it's like your solar plexus is blocked. And that's how I interpreted the song. So the heart is a chakra that is it's the chakra that transforms spiritual energy into practical energy, if you like. So it's like the bridge between the higher chakras and the lower chakras, and the solar plexus is right below it. So if your heart is frozen, it's blocking the solar plexus chakra, and that's what this image is supposed to represent. Like, when your heart is frozen, sometimes your action gets blocked, or at least your inspired action gets blocked. It's not that you can't function. You can still function in a basic level, right? But you cannot function in an emotional level. So that's what I did here, and that's what I wanted to represent. Then I had like these blues in here. The blues, the blue is the color of the throat chakra. And for me, the throat chakra was always very developed, was always the way I expressed my emotions. But the thing is, the throat chakra is right above the heart chakra. And so, again, when your heart is blocked, when your heart is frozen, your communication doesn't come from the right place, because you should talk from your heart. But if your heart gets frozen, you end up talking from all over the place, but you have a really hard time saying what goes on in your heart. So you also notice this on the song, that there are some contradictions in the song, because the song itself is a journey. So I start saying, but I've been well, but then on the second verse I say, but I'm not well. So there's this growth throughout the song. There's this realization. So the journey of Time Stood Still is processing this frozen heart that is starting to melt. There is light underneath, and it's starting to melt. It's starting to drop. And so even in our darkest times, even when we get frozen, there is hope. And that's what I wanted to represent on this song. Even though there's so even though the song doesn't have a clear conclusion, because it's not supposed to have, the song doesn't have a clear conclusion, but there is this paradox in it. And sometimes the goal to process our feelings is not to get to a conclusion. It's just to process what we're feeling at the moment. And there's no right or wrong. And you can feel something and then feel something else, and that's okay too. And so that's what Time Stood Still is about. It's about this journey, and that this is the story of the cover. I know it was a lot of information. If you guys have questions or something, go ahead. Okay, I'll be glad to answer. But just to share with you all the process that I've been through. Debro, welcome to Twitch. Long time no see. How are you, my friend? Okay, so that's the story of the cover. And with this cover, I decided, because it went on so well and I like it so much, so I decided that I'm going to do all covers of all singles will be a painting. And I can't wait to share that with you guys. It's going to be a journey and a challenge to me. But usually I get all these images when I'm working on the cover or on the the song itself. So, but I will be adding a lot of references of things that I like, so you guys can understand more about my process and all of that. So if you about chakras, the solar plexus is the key is E. All right, so that's the key of times to steal E. It's in E, um, E minor. So, but the minor and the major, it's not. It's a bit of redundant. Okay, doesn't matter for the chakra itself. Um, but yeah, because yeah, the fundamental is E exactly. Yeah. So that was a lot of information. It's just some things that I've been, developing an interest in, and I've noticed that since I started doing that, I don't know, there were a lot of changes. Not only in myself as an artist, but me being calmer as a person, being, more connected to myself and even to others. It's interesting that the more you work on yourself, the better you are to connect with others. Because you start taking ownership for your own feelings, right? Without blaming others for acting the way they do, right? We cannot control how others act, but we can control how we respond and how we interpret their actions. And so that's some things that I've been doing, and some things that I want to incorporate in my music. So that my music can help others process emotions. And I do feel like my music is all about emotions, especially this album. This album um, is taking me, through a place that, looking back and, thinking about where I was in that moment and what was I feeling, but without staying there, like, okay, I've been there, I felt that, I lived there, I lived that, but it's okay, you know? So, yeah, that's the process I've been through. Um, and that's what I'm incorporating on this album. And I would love to hear, okay, when you guys hear the song, I would love if you guys hear it, especially with headphones, because I do feel like we get more immersed in music if we hear headphones, but if you can also hear it on other places. But I would love for you guys to feel the song, to listen, with all your senses. Even in the video clip, I also incorporated. I'll be talking about the video clip in a while, but I want you to feel the song, to be with the song, and I would love to hear from you what emotions you felt while you were hearing it, and if you remembered, a specific part of your life. You don't have to get into details, but even if you just mention, I remember something specific in the past that I didn't, I would love to, because it's the very first time that I'm making music like this, and I'm very curious to know, because that's the same thing when I started doing Reiki. I was a bit self-aware, but then I did it to some people, and I was really curious. I really wanted to know, did you feel it? What did you feel? How was your effect? Because I really want to know, right? And I had really good reviews, and people told me things that confirmed what I felt energetically. So I really want to know if you guys feel something specific in the song. Please do let me know, okay? Because it would be like a confirmation of what I'm doing, okay? So yeah, just take your time. Once you have the time, and if you like, of course, you don't have to, but I would love to hear your feedback about that. Um, and I have to take it easy. My throat today really in a really weird place. So about the video clip. I wasn't supposed to make a video clip. I wasn't planning on making a video clip. I wasn't supposed to paint this either. Um, but then, Michelle, I have to thank you because you are responsible for this. Michelle, did a really strong point with me. Like, you have to make a video, even if it's something simple. But to post on social media, I mean, you won't post just the song. You have to make a video. And I thought, she's so right, And we were like 1 week away from the release, and I'm like, how am I going to do a video? And but just do something. But you guys know how I am. Like, no, okay, if I want to do a video clip, I'm going to do something proper. Um and so before the video clip, I had to do a photo shoot, and I had to find these clothes. And for the very first time in my life, I didn't reuse something that I already had. I went out and actually bought something specific for this song. So again, also my outfit was chosen, not the but this the clothes, okay, not the accessories. The accessories I already had. But the clothes, I had this impulse one day. Okay, I'm going to get clothes for the photo shoot because I want to buy something. I never buy anything, so I want to buy something in line with the song. And I choose, this has yellows and all of these, because also, again, yellow and blue, the same colors of the cover. And I found this amazing outfit that I love, really cheap. Like, I think I paid 14 euros for this part, so really cheap. And I got this amazing deal, and I love the clothes. And then one day I went to do a photo shoot, and I thought about doing some videos, and I went to the beach. The weather was kind of shady, so sometimes it was raining, sometimes it was sunny, but then it was sunny. I went to the beach. My camera fell in the sand because it was so windy. And then it started to rain, and I had to run away. And I had my camera, I had my drone, and I had my electric guitar. And I had to make a run for it. Oh my gosh! But nothing was broken. It was all fine. But I accepted. Okay, I cannot record this video clip outside. And then I had this idea uh, to do it inside. So I did the photo shoot inside first, and I don't have a lot of space here where I am, but I do have places that I can go that have more space. But I don't know. I just chose that, and I love that background. I think it went well with the song, and then I did the video clip in there. So again, nothing planned, but things just happened. And I do feel that's something that also happens when you open yourself spiritually, is that you stop planning things so much and you start going with the flow. Like, okay, you go to the beach, you cannot do anything. Are you going to get mad with it, or are you just, work through it, and okay, maybe I'm not supposed to record here. I'll record home. That's fine. And then I recorded using 3 different cameras. And I really love the result because you have 3 very different images, because they were taken from different cameras, very, very different cameras. And it was a bit of a challenge to edit it and to make everything work, but I just love it. And if you guys can tell which images were done one way or the other, or there are 3 cameras. Okay, I'm already spoiling a bit. So 3 different cameras. If you can tell which pictures were made, which, from one camera or the other, I would love if you guys can spot the difference. So again, also not planned. I was planning only to record with one camera, but then I had, let's try to put this camera here. Oh, and let's try to put that camera there. So again, it was all in the spur of the moment. And I think it was like, what, 4 hours recording, something like that. Yeah. And then I was editing for 2 days, doing the color treatment and the trims and everything. Um, yeah, and I had it done yesterday. I finished it yesterday. And I had people from the press asking, "Oh, is there a video clip link?" And I'm like, "Oh," but I was still editing it, so it was all in the spur of the moment, all like last minute, but it was all so great. It all worked out great. So today I am very tired because these last days have been a bit hectic, but I'm also very happy because I've done everything and more, because I haven't, I didn't know that I was going to do all this. And now I've set the bar really high because this is the very first single. So I'm supposed to do this every month from now on. Okay. So there's that too. But I don't mind, because I do feel sometimes we need to push ourselves and to challenge ourselves. And Times to Steal, of course, was more of a bumpy road because it was the very first single. But now, we will fine tune the process. I will fine tune the process, and I'm sure things will be a bit smoother on the second song, which is pretty much done. Also, I don't want to talk much about it because today is about Times to Steal. But yeah, I mean, I have to speed it up because I have to have 16 songs for you in December. So I have one song still, well, two, more or less. And I'm already working on the third, but turned out great. Thank you so much, Mark. I really appreciate it. And Kevin, welcome. By the way, guys, there will be more videos, okay, of Times to Steal, because I recorded so much stuff that I can do like 3 or 4 different videos with what I recorded. But we will have a lyric video, okay? And the lyric video will also have, and this is so great because I never thought about doing this, but again, Michelle told me that we should do this, and I totally agree with her. So we will have one video with the lyric video, so the lyric video, but also not only the written lyrics, we will also have the video on American Sign Language, okay, to include people that listen to music in a very different way. And it's so cool because I never thought about it, but it will be a totally different interpretation of the song, right? Michelle will be doing that video, the ASL video, and then I will incorporate it with mine, so you guys can see a different interpretation of the song. So, and then we'll also have a video of me just playing the acoustic guitar. So if you want to learn how to play Times to Steal on the acoustic guitar, it's really easy. Okay, it does have a kind of variations, but it's really easy to play. And the video is just me playing the guitar, so you guys can see how it's played. Thinking maybe putting the frets on the screen or something like that. I tried to make a bass video, but I couldn't get it right. The bedroom video was the first. Yeah, they are all in the bedroom. But the bass video, I totally messed it up. I was playing just fine, and then I totally messed it up. I don't know what happened. Because it also has a really cool bass line. And I remember when I was working on the original, I kept the bass line pretty much like the original, just a few notes different, but that's pretty much it. The very first bass line was made with the help of Eduardo, the bass player of my first band. I remember I was working because I wanted to do a different bass line, and so I was recording and then sending it to him so he could give me his feedback. And at very first was sounding a lot like Zombie from by the Cranberries, and then of course okay, no, that's not okay, we have to do something different. And then I come up with that, and but he helped me along the process as well. So there's still a lot of there in there that was inspired by my old works, Sandra Bullet, or even with other artists. Um, Also, there will be a remix or a new version of Times to Still in the future, just when the album is out. Because when I first started this album, I thought about doing a feature album, like every song would have a different artist featuring in it. Because over the years working as a musician, I mean, know so many amazing artists, and usually I'm working on their songs, but now I have the chance for them to work on my songs. But we did this experience. I did this experience with this amazing guitar player that I know, and he did something beautiful, really amazing with Time Stood Still. So amazing that I incorporated a few notes here and there because I really liked it. But the song was not the song I envisioned anymore. So I thought, okay, that doesn't make sense because I want the album to be consistent. So if I'm going to bring other artists, it will have to be a feature album. It cannot be an original album. And I want to release the original album first, you know? So it's my album, it's my songs, and then we'll have a feature album where we have sometimes featuring a guitar player, sometimes featuring a bass player. I already have a bass player that wants to feature on the album as well. So we are going to have all these amazing artists. Some of them you already know from the Bulletized covers. We already collaborated before, but some of them are musicians that only work on originals, and so it will be a totally different feature. But I'm really cool for that. Really looking forward to that as well. But that's a totally different album in a totally different future. But just to say, and I was talking about you, and you show up. I love that. I love when I'm talking about someone and then people show up in the chat. I love it. So that's it for the video. Totally in the spur of the moment, totally improvised, and it worked out really well. I've had some really nice shots, and I was working because I have this new camera, and I still don't know how to work very well with it. But I ended up capturing really, really cool things with that camera. Really glad I bought it. Sometimes, it's a really great investment to have your own material. So especially me, because I work a lot, and so sometimes I have this inspiration and these ideas, and so if I have the material, I can just go ahead and record it and make it happen. So yeah, one thing that I think I could never be an artist that goes to a studio to record, that goes to an outside studio, because I'm such an artist that I work in the spur of the moment, and I love to have a place that I can record and mess up with it, just fine tune it and do everything. I couldn't do that in a studio, and I've done that. I mean, I can go to a studio record, but not in my original music. My original music, I feel it needs to have this method because that's the way I'm more. That's the way I make things happen, and it's kind of like my artistic process or whatever you want to call it, right? So yeah, that's it about this album. That's it about this single. I know it's already playing on the radio. Some international radios are playing it. Okay. I will be posting on my social pages when I have some articles about it or anything. But again, guys, I really want to, because this is such a new direction for me. So if you guys have like feelings or some opinions about the songs, go ahead, share, because when an artist, in my case, I do invest a lot in my music, and I do everything myself, so it's kind of like my baby. There was a friend of mine who said, "You're not making an album, you're making a baby," and I thought, "You're kind of right," because I put so much of myself in the songs. So I just love that. I love to hear you, saying what you think about the song, or one specific element that you noticed in the song that you really liked. Um, or you can also say, I missed something that it was on the previous version that is not on this one. That's also okay. because I love that. I love to know what you guys thought. Love to know if it got some emotion out of you, if it got some uh, reaction, even some reaction in your body. Okay, that can happen with the way I made the song. Okay, but I would love that. I would love to hear about that and to know what you guys think about this new style and this new direction. Of course, there's still, like I was saying, there's still a bullet in there because the bullet is part of me. Sandra Bullet is part of me. She's not all of me, but she's part of Sandra Lorenzo as well. So there are parts, and I'm sure you can listen to that. There are parts on the song that you can listen to the bullet sing, or you can listen to. There's the specific note on the guitar or on the bass. There's a specific note that you can feel. Oh, that note, um, and that's exactly. If you guys could feel that, and if you guys tell me that, I would love to know that, because one thing that I noticed is that sometimes you guys notice stuff in my music that I didn't notice when I was doing, and it wasn't planned, at least not in a conscious level. It could be planned unconsciously, right? But it wasn't planned on a conscious level, and I wasn't aware. And then you guys noticed something that happened in my video clip Prisão de Sonhos. Some of you gave me these amazing interpretations that I never thought. It made me question. It made me question, why did I do that? Because again, I feel like I have to do things a certain way, that I want to do things a certain way, and I go ahead and do it. I don't question too much about it, okay? But then you guys find something in it, and I'm like, that is so cool. I never thought about that. And then I go listen or see the video clip and I'm like, huh, yeah, is right. It's there, and I did that. I wasn't planning that. So it's really cool. So that's why I love to hear your opinions and your feedback, because that helps me also understand what I do, because sometimes I don't. Mark is saying you really expressed your emotions in the video for sure. Yeah, thank you. No, I last year, I started a theater course because I always receive the feedback of you on the bulletized covers that, oh, you express your emotions so well, and you are so expressive in your face. And so I thought, I want to explore that because I always like that, and I like the part of building characters or just being there on the screen. And so I started a theater course, and I tried to apply some things I learned. So it's also a work in progress, but my music is not just heard, it's felt, and my voice is like that. It's not just heard, it's felt. And because I feel it, I felt when I was singing. I did my best to record in a way that could be captured in the audio, and of course the video had to match it, had to match those emotions. And Time Stood Still, even though it comes from a frozen heart, there's a lot of different emotions in there, right? There's like, I don't know what I'm doing here, I don't know what I'm feeling, I think I'm well because I'm not feeling that much at all. But then I started thinking, wait, but I went through that. That happened to me. And wait, maybe I'm not that well. Wait, maybe I have something. Maybe there's something to be felt, And then then there's some rage, there's sadness, there's like, okay, things will never be the same again because something has shifted, something has happened, someone has broken me, someone has done something to me that was unthinkable. And I could never look at that person the same way because I never thought that person was like that or that person would do something like that. So there's this kind of processing. It's all a process, right? But in the end, it's like almost it comes back to the beginning of this indecision that okay, I felt all these emotions, and now what do I do? Do I stay or go? Do I stay with this person, or am I better on my own? And those are, that's the emotional journey. And the end of the for me, my favorite part of the, okay, spoiler alert, my favorite part of the song is the end. um the end was totally improvised when I was recording. In the end of a vocal take, I started singing that part, with you, without you. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Again, improvised, because I was feeling the song. And one thing that I did while recording the songs, the voice, especially the instruments, I don't need that much, but when I'm recording the vocals, I go back to the moment when I wrote the song. I do have a really good memory that helps. So I go back to to when I did the song, and I think about where I was. I remember the house I was in. I remember the view through the window. I remember what I was feeling, and it was one of the darkest moments in my life. And so it's easy. That makes it easy for me to write from that place. The hardest thing is to get out of it. And it was a process. It was really hard getting into that, but then disconnecting and remembering, okay, that happened, but I'm no longer there. That was years ago, and that's okay. I'm fine. I'm here. But that helped me um, go back to that time, that and rewrite from that place, if that makes sense. So yeah, that part was totally improvised, but I love that because that part is the conclusion of the song that raises questions, right? Okay, now what? But it's not an answered question. I do feel there's no closure, Mark. It's kind of a closure in the sense of feeling your emotions. In that sense, is a closure. You're right. You felt your emotions, but in practical terms, there's no answer. There's just a question being raised, like, now what? With you or without you? I feel alone either way, so. And this is because the song is almost in the beginning of the album. I don't want to spoil the arrangement to you guys, but the album in itself is a journey through closure, and it starts with many questions. And so Time Stood Still is a song of questions. It's a song of feelings, but also a song of questions, and not a song for actions. It's a song of questions. But before you take action, you have to um, make questions, right? And it's a song of questions. It's a song of processing feelings. In that sense, it's a song of, you need to process what you're feeling to make an informed decision, make a right decision. And it doesn't have to be right forever. It has to be right in that moment. Even, sometimes years later, you get to the conclusion that, yeah, no. But what matters is what you feel at the moment and the decision you make from that point. So, yeah. Yeah. That's Time Stood Still. All right. So, you guys want to hear the song again before I go offline? I'm sorry I don't sing anything else today, but my throat is not very well. Good thing I already recorded all vocals for the album, so that's okay. But I can sing Time Stood Still one more time for you guys before going away. Or we can just listen. We can go through the previous two versions of Time Stood Still before this one. What do you guys prefer? Because we can go through the very first version and the second. Or I can just sing this one. Maybe I'll sing. Maybe I'll dance a bit to the second one. On the second one, I had a lot of fun making the video clip. It was my very first time. The very first time I used free. It's free footage. You know, you can get free royalty footage. Okay. Yeah. So let's go through the versions of Time Stood Still. I won't be singing the second one, but I think I have the previous lyrics in here as well. Yes, I do. Cool. Okay. So I'll try my best not to sing what I'm not supposed on the very first version, because I end up now I'm just listening to this version, so things can get a bit moody, a bit muddy in my mind. I do have a good memory, but time stood still since that moment. Died in the light from that moment on. But I've been well, breaking all the chains I can't back down, back to what we used to have. 'Cause I can't forget about what you've done to me, and I know I can't let go. Time stood still since that moment. All my world fell down from that moment on. But I feel well, breaking all the chains I had. 'Cause I can't back down, don't like it now? Now I so felt it needed it was missing something in the end. And this is really good when it just means it really there was something missing in there, and now it's not. So I don't know if you guys felt it too. Okay, so this is the original version. Some things, and now that I was singing the first version, I forgot to mention that um, the first version had, I think it was 73 BPMs all over, and I always felt the final part was a bit slow. So now what I did was a tempo track. So the track starts at 73, but then it speeds up on the chorus, and then it goes back down and slows back down towards the end. And I do feel the dynamic of the song is a lot better. Now that I was singing this one, I felt, this part is too slow. So another change that I did also. I love, old songs. Usually songs nowadays don't have tempo variations. They just follow a strict beat. And songs in the older days, they didn't have metronomes. They didn't follow tempo structures. And that was part of the dynamic of the song. So I do feel sometimes when we use, and that's that's why people do this, because if you do a standard BPM, you can then use MIDI or use backing tracks a lot easier. But I do feel it's how the song feels is more important. So that's another change that I did. So this is the original version. Now I have to find the second version, which was a totally unexpected release. That I really love. So guys, on Instagram now you cannot hear it. Sorry. Debro, I'm great. I'm celebrating the release of my new single. Sorry, I just saw your message now. You can hear the effect, right? In the beginning, the one I used. I'm rewatching the video clip because I haven't done it in a very long time. So cool. Kazumiya, thank you so much for this amazing, amazing version. And I love that he used the guitar notes kind of like a clock. It's really cool. Really, really cool. One of the details that I really like about what he did. And of course, the time that I also did on my new version because I absolutely love it. So, guys, okay, before I go offline, again, Time to Steal new version. Final song for today. First and final song. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting this release. And there are more releases coming. So ways for you guys to support the release that are free. Share the video clip. The video clip is on my Facebook page. You can share the post. Share the post with other people. Comment, inviting other people to watch the video clip as well. Listen on Spotify or on iTunes or whatever, because that also helps. Again, share the song with other people. That's the best support you can do to any artist. Share the posts, share the songs, so we can just reach more people and more people can listen to our music. And do this. Time to steal since that moment. Diving away from that moment on. But I've been well, breaking all these chains I had. I can't back down
used to have. 'Cause I can't forget about what you showed me to be. And I don't think I ever will. You broke my heart and lost my trust. When will I ever have enough? Was this all in vain? Shall we try again? Does it even matter in the end? 'Cause I'm broken, maybe not so bad on my own. I always felt alone after all. I always felt alone with you. Without you, with you, without you.
There you go, guys. First single of what's to come. And now every month there will be a new one, so just have to keep an eye on it. And there will be a song every day till December when the album comes out. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. And see you next week. Hopefully my voice will be okay back. Will be okay there. Thank you so much. And yeah. Take care. Enjoy the single. Don't forget, listen to it on repeat. Everywhere. All right. So, bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Bye.